everyone, and welcome back to Jesse Hecht Creative. Today we're going over the Jakks Pacific Metroid Prime 2 Samus Aran Metroid Set, Deluxe Metroid, and Figma Zero Suit Samus Aran. Before we begin, make sure to hit that like button and smash that subscribe button. Now let's get to it. So here's the box for the World Nintendo Jakks Pacific Metroid set. Samus and the Metroids in the front, right over here, front and center. Metroid logo from Metroid Other M over there. We also have World Nintendo on the side, some bios on the back, and some nice pictures of Metroids and Samus's arm cannon. And let's take a look at what is inside. So here's Samus. I'm holding her hand because she really does not want to stand at all. Kind of an interesting, sort of weak figure in my opinion. Compared to the Figmas I reviewed earlier, this is just not that great at all. Going over what minimal articulation it would have, there is a swivel at the waist right over here. The legs do not move at all, sadly. The knee is a really strange thing where it could bend, but it would break, so that's not going to work for me. This knee is pretty sturdy though for some reason. I like the deco on it though. It's pretty nicely done, but what a poor excuse for a figure. This is just static. This whole thing. It's awful, not really that great. I'm very not happy with it. The paint job is excellent though. Very nice paint job for this figure. Although right over here, it's sort of this area on the leg, it's kind of scratched for some reason. But the rest of it is really solid, aside from a little blemish on the head right back here. But I didn't really come here to complain. I came here to look at some Metroid figures. This is not a good figure, not recommended. I came here for the titular Metroids. They look gorgeous. I love these figures so much. Just taking one over here. Fantastic. Just amazing looking and great. I love the little nuclei in the center along with the yellow dots on them. Gives a little bit of life, a little bit of pizzazz as opposed to just being red. You could have given a wash, but no. You gave it some really cool yellow sparkly things, I guess. They're really nicely done. Painted pretty well and very creepy and intimidating figure. I don't like the shell that much because it does show the cracks and seams inside. It could have been done a little bit better in some way, but it's still pretty good what it is if you have it here like this or like this. Speaking of the bottom, you can rotate the figure on the stand, but you could just rotate the stand itself. That's fine, I guess. It kind of fits in really well. Taking it out is pretty simple. Just pull or at least just push in. And I like how the little number code is on the bottom, which is good, with some Jakks China stuff over there as we've seen before. There's, I think, a little bit of wash on the little claws, little grippers over here. Very nicely done. There's two in the back that are larger and two in the front that are smaller. This is the Metroid from Metroid Prime, I believe, when they actually sort of codified that. But looking from the silhouette from this, it kind of makes it look like a Metroid even more than I think this would be. As much as I like little grippers in the front, I like seeing all four of them in silhouette right there, which is a pretty nice detail. Looks really great. The membrane in the bottom is really nicely done. A lot of good striations and folds and little curves in that fleshy membrane over here. It doesn't need a wash. It's fine. It's good enough as it is. The light catches it pretty well. And this is a fantastic representation of Metroids. I love for Jakks to expand too. Make space pirates, make gamers, zoomers, make rippers, different enemies, and stuff like that. Even Ridley would be phenomenal. Kraid's too much. Mother Brain maybe. Mother Brain playset would be awesome. But the Metroid itself is really nice and super duper cool. And when you have one Metroid, you gotta have more. I actually got a bunch of Metroid packs way back when and just amassed a small army about the size of the Metroids that you fight on SR388, which is around roughly 10 or so Metroids. The downsides about this though is that when you push them together, they kind of fall and sometimes fall out of the little slot that holds in the stand. Then you have to put the stand back in. It's kind of a hassle, but it's the only downside to these figures. They're phenomenal. Definitely pick this set up, even if you don't even care about this stupid little Samus that comes with it. Here we have the box for the Metroid Prime 2 Samus. Samus over here with Morph Ball, and Samus with Morph Ball. Metroid Prime 2 looks really nicely done. I love this Metroid logo over here so much. We also have Samus on the back pointing her arm cannon at you. We got some articulation going on, a little bio, and it's awesome looking. Let's take a look at Samus. I just want to point out that Samus is fully sort of formed here in the box instead of just cutting off at the top. It's a really nice detail I thought they wouldn't do. It's pretty cool. Samus looks amazing. I love this figure so much. Very well done. This is excellent. Oh my god. It's perfect. It's just a perfect little Samus figure. It doesn't, I don't think, top Figma, but for Jakks, this is phenomenal. One of their best figures, I would think. It's great. Samus looks really awesome. I love the detail on her. She's wonderful. That really really vibrant orange, and the greens look really great. We also have some good yellows in here, and some very nice grays, and the red is just so nice. And that visor is painted incredibly well. Look at this thing. It's so awesome. Really great. Yes. Yeah, that's just wonderful. Excellent paint on this figure. Oh my gosh, it's just great. The sculpting is really awesome. The paint is really nice. The little gradient on the arm cannon, yes. All of the yes. This is just excellent and perfect. There's even some paint on the hand. Please make more suits. Gravity suit is a must. I would love to see that. As far as accessories goes, Samus comes with a morph ball. Very nicely done. Some nice paint on it. It's green, it's orange, it's dark orange, but it's also beautiful. Very great paint. I love this thing a lot. I think this came from the Metroid Prime Jakks figures that he released a while back. That's pretty neat. I like this a lot, even though it's probably a remold, but it looks beautiful and it's very clean. As far as articulation goes for Samus, her head can move around a little bit like this, left and right, and then up and down a tiny bit. It's a very small amount. These can hinge very nicely. You also get up this far and down, and then all the way around. You do get a butterfly joint that's kind of hidden. Very nicely done on that. And a double hinged elbow that can go in a multitude of ways. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's a really strange joint, but I respect it, you know? It kind of sacrifices realism for, hey, she can morph ball into a suit, so why can't her suit do really weird, dumb things? That's kind of strange. You do get a swivel right over here. You also get an up and a down and a swivel over here. You get out this far, not really that much, up really far, and all the way around. Why not? It's a magical spacesuit that can turn into a ball. You do get a little swivel here and a double jointed knee going up this far. Pretty nice. Yeah, that's all I can get out of it. You do get a down and a up with no pivot and no peg holes at the bottom of the feet. It is a really interestingly done figure that takes advantage of how magical and strange Samus's suit can be. I recommend keeping it in somewhat of a neutral pose, but don't go too wacky, otherwise it'll kind of like transform into something weird. The Metroid stands at about 2 inches tall. Samus herself stands at about 5 inches tall, next to the Metroid Prime 3 Corruption Samus. And this one, I'm sorry, isn't even touching this. This is just phenomenal. This is really great for what it is, though. I really appreciate it. The Metroid is wonderful for what it is and fantastic. And also, here's Jesse Hecht Creative. Really, Samus? Your bonitis starts acting up now? Hello everyone, and thank you so much for watching so far. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. You can also click the bell icon for more creativity. Now let's get back to it. Let's take a look at Zero Suit Samus. Zero Suit Samus is a very nice looking figure. I love the sleek blue on her. It's wonderful. The two-tone thing is great. Her back is really awesome. This little insignia, whatever it is, very cool. There are a couple scratches over here from somebody trying to put the little port into this hole, and I'll talk about this later a little bit. We also have a very nice hand over here with a symbol that looks like the screw attack. Pretty cool. I like that a lot. A holster for her gun over here, her blaster. We also do not have a logo on this hand. Pretty interesting. It looks very shapely and nice. I do like this cool Chozo looking logo over here. There's a lot of stuff on this figure that looks like it could be something, but it probably isn't, and just a cool design, but it kind of, you know, leads me to believe there are a lot of neat little tidbits in this figure for a game that really didn't do too well, and they were trying to really hype. They put a lot of effort into this figure that I really appreciate. This is probably the big comeback for Metroid in a way that hopefully pushed it to a new thing, but sadly didn't. This figure came out of it though, and I'm very grateful, at least for Other M, for doing that. The face looks really awesome. I love the eyes. They're so dead. I really like that, how Samus is just really sort of just kind of tired and over like this whole bounty hunting thing, but she still keeps going just because she, you know, loves her galaxy and the people in it. This is just a really great face sculpt. I love how it is done. She has a little mole on her chin over there. The lips look really nice. The eyes are wonderfully done. They're amazing. Probably the best part about the face. The hair is shiny and pretty cool. Has a tiny red ponytail on the top. Little bit of a little twist eye or something. That's really cute. And it's a really nice looking figure. I really like the sleekness of it, and it's just wonderful. She comes with an alternate head that is just awful and horrible. I really am not a big fan of this one. There's a huge intercom thing on the side, and also just really bad looking hair in general. It's just terrible. There's a huge seam line right over here and on the top too. It's just not my favorite at all. The expression doesn't even look like her. I think this is from the flashback when she lost, I think, her brother or somebody, one of her friends, I guess. I really forgot about that whole flashback, by the way, but yeah, this head is a painful reminder of that. She also comes with a helmet for Adam. and yeah, it doesn't really fit on her. It's kind of just a hollow helmet. I wish it fit on something. That would be great. This is number 7 on it. It's actually my favorite number 2, which is pretty cool. Very nicely detailed and done, but I wish they had some kind of G-Fed Trooper kind of thing going on. They could make for Samus or something. That'd be nice, but it's a good little helmet and a little reminder of that post-game, really cool boss fight. As far as accessories goes, she comes with the 2 aforementioned hands that do swivel and then hinge however you like them to. On this, it's all just a sort of double peg hinge ball thing. It's very nicely done and really cool for these figures. These are pretty good hands, by the way. She also comes with 2 fists, 2 regular stuff holding hands that are just fine, I guess. They're pretty okay, but there's nothing really for her to hold that much. She also comes with the dreaded thumbs up and thumbs down hand from the game. And also this hand, it's kind of the same thing, but not really. I don't know why it's here. Let's just don't even know. We should just move on. She comes with a holding hand for her blaster, and that's it. No other hand. I'm not sure if I got gypped or something, but this is a really nice blaster. Really neat looking and super cool. Reflects well in light and has a lot of good details on it. It's really neat and awesome. There's no way to really put anything inside to make it look like it's firing, but we can all pretend. This reminds me a lot of Zero Mission with the little emergency pistol she had, and that's pretty cool. It's a really nice piece. I haven't really tried taking it out, but putting it in doesn't really work on the holster. It's not a functional holster at all. It doesn't really work, at least. As far as articulation goes for Samus, the head can go around left and right, and then side to side in this incarnation. I can move the joint a little bit manually, but I really don't wanna. She moves just fine, I guess, up and down pretty well on the ball and swivels, and then a little bit of pivot. We also get up this far and down all the way around. You get some shoulder joint up and down for that. You do get an elbow going up this far. It's only a single elbow, I believe. We already covered the wrist. You can go left and right and then back and forth. This hair piece keeps falling off. That's kind of a shame. You can get left and right and then back and forth. It's really smoothly goes around really nicely. Split's not really that great. You go up this far and then back this far. You do get a little swivel up here at that ball joint. You do get a knee going this far and this knee going this far. It is a little pegged out of the joint. I can't fix it. I have no clue what's wrong. I'm just going to accept it for how it is. You do get a swivel down here and then down and up, and then not really much pivot and no peg holes on the feet. Standing her is kind of an issue. This sort of hair piece is kind of an issue as well, but the rest of the figure is very solid and I'm really happy with it. Zero Suit Samus was in my first Metroid game I ever got, Metroid Zero Mission for the Game Boy Advance. I sold that off when I didn't even know what Metroid was. I remember getting stuck and just quitting, but years later I got Super, came back to the series and rocked it. One of my favorite series of all time, Metroid. I love this, and this figure is excellent too. Going back to Super Metroid, speaking of which, I find this figure to be representative of that character, the titular Super Metroid. It has a squishy membrane, so it can actually be a good stand-in for the infant Metroid. The other Metroids have tough shells you can't really push into, but this one, you can. So this is like more of a sort of a larval Metroid. This is an infant, just born Metroid, just hatched. So this works really well and looks nice. It's very cloudy, I think, for some reason. I got the second hand, so I don't really know the details of what happened with this figure exactly, if it should be that cloudy or not, but it really, I think, fits for my sort of character usage and storyline for this, because I have a big surprise for all of you. This is the box for the Deluxe Metroid, what I use as the Super Metroid. Moving this all the way around, we see Samus over here with a Deluxe Metroid and a bio over here. It's not as green as what I thought, but it does help for my storyline, so let's open this up and see what's what. This dubbed Super Metroid is amazing looking and beautiful. It's smooshy and squishy. It has all the little dots on the inside, but slightly darker and much bigger. This is phenomenal. Wow, I did not expect this kind of figure. Jeez, that's insane and wonderful. Wow. Just wow, I gotta say. It's just super cool. I only have one problem with it, and you can probably see it's kind of faltering at this, little angle point. It's really loose. I may have to get a replacement or something, but I'm currently happy with how it is. I could live with it at least, but man, this is just gorgeous. There is articulation, so it does swivel at each claw and then goes inward this far, inward this far, inward this far, and inward this far with each one, and then outward this far. That's awesome. You could wear it as a hat. I'm probably going to post myself wearing it as a hat after this review. This is just wonderful. It's the same mold but just bigger, and that's what I like about this kind of thing. It's the same mold, just bigger. It's wonderful. I really love this figure a lot. There's some great details on the inside of each little claw. The membrane is much more fleshed out, and it's so gorgeous. Oh my god. This is insanely great and a beautiful figure. Highly, highly recommended. This is just epic. This is, oh my god. I love this thing so much. I gotta fix this little piece over here. But other than that, it's just perfect. Just get it. Just get it. It's so squishy, buy it! The infant Metroid stands at about 2 inches tall or so compared to the Super Metroid that stands at around 5¼ inches tall. Zero Suit Samus stands at around 5¼ inches tall as well or so. And they all look nice together. You can see why I got this Metroid, the squishy one, the small one, to pair well with the Super Metroid. They both look very similar, especially on camera. That kind of lighter hue, at least, you get compared to the other Metroid that is darker, less squishy. It's tougher. So yeah, we have our infant Metroid, our larval Metroid, and the Super Metroid itself. Let's get some more variants. Alpha, Gamma, Zeta, Omega. Let's do it. Let's rock. Let's get some more Metroids in here. And also here's Jesse Hecht Creative. Hey babe, what if we kissed on top of the Super Metroid? And here's all the Samuses together. We have the Prime 3 Corruption suited Samus next to the Prime 2 Echoes suited Samus, with the Metroid Other M suited Samus next to the Zero Suit Samus. They all look really nice together, and you can feasibly see how Zero Suit fits in here, but I'm not sure how this would fit here. Okay, bad joke. Fine. But these are wonderful Samus figures, and I'm glad to have them. Let's get more suits, and please, more enemies. Oh, and here's that other little dinky Samus that came with the Metroid that someone apparently invited to the party, and I got to stand for somehow. So there's his party trick, people. Yay! Overall, Metroid is one of my favorite video game series of all time, and seeing as I have a lot of these figures, that's an understatement. The Jakks Pacific Metroid Prime 2 Samus is really nice. Sure, she's a little more colorful here than she is in-game, but I really like that. It makes her pop. She looks great in scenes and is wonderful to handle and pose. Some really great articulation, even ones I found after the fact, just make her even better in my eyes. I hope they make more suits out of her, because this character model is really nicely done. They should use it as a base for different Samus figures. The Metroids are really awesome, whether it be the infant Metroid with a little squishy thing on the top, or the larval Metroids with the harder shell, or even the Super Metroid with its big squishy shell and movable mandibles. You'll have a fun time with any kind of Metroid, especially if you pair it with a Samus figure. The Figma Zero Suit Samus is magnificent, really nicely done, and sure, mine has a weird bum leg thing, but everything else is really awesome on that. I'm not a big fan of the other head though, but as an offering and as shown right here, I love it. She's great. Give me some space pirates for her to fight and she'll fight them. That'd be amazing. These toy companies have only scratched the surface when it comes to Metroid, and I hope they revisit Samus or any other characters sometime soon. Give me space pirates. Give me Ridley. Heck, if you want to be really awesome, give me a Mother Brain. That'd be amazing. But make no mistake, Metroid is entering a golden age that I hope lasts forever. So which one is your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching Jesse Hecht Creative. Feel free to click like, subscribe, share, or leave a comment. You can also visit us at jessehechtcreative.com, where you'll find more reviews like this one. Thanks again for watching, and keep being creative. Stay tuned.